Lights on, volume up. Simply put, this is not a hot take. This is the truth. This is the truth that's going to make a lot of people very, very upset. Josh Allen is standing in the cleanest Super Bowl window he may ever see. No Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow. The three shadows that have haunted the AFC playoffs are now all gone. The door's not cracked. It is wide open. Hinges off. Welcome Matt out. And if it doesn't happen now, when it's exactly as it's supposed to happen? We spent years handing out excuses to old man Josh Allen. Bad luck, bad weather, coin flips, overtime rules, defensive breakdowns, somebody else's greatness at some point, all of that turns into noise. Great quarterbacks do not wait for perfect conditions. They seize imperfect moments and turn them into legacies. This is where the conversation flips. It's not about talent. It's not about arm strength, not about highlight throws to break on the internet on Sunday night. It's about finishing. It's about walking into January knowing there's no final boss left standing in front of you. Every year, the AFC gets harder, not easier. Windows don't stay open for long. They slam shut. Ask Phillip Rivers, Dan Marino. Ask the whole graveyard of all-time greats. Which when your time was coming. Right now, and it never did. Josh Allen has a team. Josh Allen has the experience. He has the opportunity. He doesn't have any more excuses. This isn't pressure created by fans or media. This is pressure created by reality. Josh Allen, simply put, it's now or never. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man, our nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, guys. Your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. I'm so glad you're rolling with us today. Guys, before jumping into today's action, head over to manhourradio.com. That's where you find all the exclusive merchandise, the freshest of the freshest blogs, and everything's happening with the Man Hour show. So if you're rocking the Man Hour, guys, that's the spot to rep it. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, and of course, subscribe so you never miss a live interactive show. That's the easiest way to stay plugged into us. But if you want the full Man Hour experience, if you want the full Man Hour experience, become a Big Sim Punting, guys. That is our members-only community where we get free entry into the weekly NFL pick'ems, giveaways, exclusive merchandise, and the live stream code, the bonus live stream that only the Big Sim Punting gets. That's what I'm trying to say. Damn, if you want the next level access, guys, join the squad today. Remember, this is a live interactive show. So drop your thoughts, your opinions, and your highlights and tags in the comments down below, because I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, Mr. Old Man River. Old Man River says, pigskin pundits, get you some.
Pigskin pun, get you some.
What is up, Old Man River? You got my man Jim Powell in the chat today. He says, it's over, baby! But it happened to be a hell of a run, meeting the Kansas City Chiefs. Guys, we're going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty, if it is over or not. So stay tuned for segment number one as we go and talk about that. We got the man's brewing process. Yes, sir. I live, laugh, love Drake May. This man has a man crush on Drake May. And listen, I ain't mad about it. I ain't mad about it, Bruins prod. Your boys are rolling right now. They rolling. And if it has to be anybody to win the Super Bowl, why not Drake May? Why not Drake May, right? I don't know. And John People says the pain meds. The pain meds are up. My man. John, I feel you. I feel your pain, bro. I don't feel your pain because I got two good legs, but you don't. My man Arthur Brown's in the chat today. Says, what up, Man Hour Nation? Arthur Brown, what is good? Sorry about your Dolphins last night, brother. But segment number two, we're going to talk about Tua. We're going to talk about Tua and his future in Miami, or if he has one. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for tuning in today. Arthur Brown and John People says, nice jacket, bro. Tell me more. John, this was the original man-hour jacket. So me and Combsy got one. I had them made. They're very, very expensive. I'm not even going to lie. They're nice and warm, but this was like 4 years ago when we had the old man-hour logo and we're trying to figure out what we're doing. But yeah, we can bring them back. We got to pay for them. They are expensive. We got Laura Johnson-Hedrick in the chat today. What's up, Laura? Long time no see. So guys, as you guys know, Laura Johnson was a Minnesota Vikings fan last season. They got beat out in the playoffs. She's like, oh, maybe, just maybe, I need to change my fandom. Maybe, just maybe, I need to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Laura becomes a Kansas City Chiefs fan. What happens? They get knocked out of the playoffs. Laura? What's up? What's up, Laura? What's up? So, guys, Vrabel has the Pats dialed in. Mike Vrabel is one hell of a coach. Not even going to lie. Mike Vrabel is a one hell of a coach. But we got to start with the night, guys. We got to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Guys, let's stop sugarcoating it. The Kansas City Chiefs dynasty might have just died on the field on Sunday afternoon. Patrick Mahomes goes down with a torn ACL, season over. Next season is pretty much in doubt. And for the first time in a decade, the Chiefs are out of the playoff picture. That sucks, baby. So I got one simple question. Brutal question for you tonight. Is the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl window officially closed? Is the dynasty officially over? Is it time for a complete rebuild? They're not dinged up. It's not, they'll be back. I'm talking about closed, slam shut, lights off, dynasty over. Chiefs Kingdom, NFL hands, Mahomes haters and lovers, tap in. Because we're going down there tonight. We're going down this road tonight. Guys, welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. We are live every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. East Coast time. And if you're new here, guys, it's a live interactive show. Drop your comments and your takes and your smoke, all that matters. But, chat, let me know. Is the Chiefs Super Bowl window dynasty officially closed? Type yes or no in the comments down below, and let's vote on that, and we'll read what you guys got to say here in a minute. But let's start with what we know. Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL against the LA Chargers. MRI confirms that he is done for the season. Rehab time? Let's just be honest, it's roughly about 9 to 12 months minimum. That could bleed into next year. And even when he's back, will he be the same guy? That is the biggest question. His game is built on mobility in the pocket, off-platform throws, and extending plays. That's what makes Mahomes great. You mess with the knee, you're messing with his superpower. You're messing with that S on his chest. Now stack that top of what we've already seen. The offense has already been lost its explosiveness without Tyreek Hill from a couple years ago. You've got the tap, and then you got the cap tied up with Patrick Mahomes, an aging Travis Kelce, and a defense playing hero ball half of the time. And then the first time in this era, they'll miss the playoffs completely. Chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about Mahomes' long-term future? Drop your number. Will he be the same? Or is he just going to be like a shell of himself, right? Now, many people are saying the dynasty is over. The window is closed. And I see your argument. I understand why the window might be closed. Injury plus timeline. Like, you're losing at least one full primetime year of Patrick Mahomes. Maybe if he's not even 100% next season, that's still a massive hit in a league where the windows are tiny. And let's just be honest, the AFC got a hell of a lot better. While Kansas City has slowed down, been human per se, the rest of the AFC got better. The Patriots, the Broncos, the Chargers, the Texans, the Jaguars, the Colts, where had they all came from, right? The list gets deeper and deeper and deeper every single year, and the supporting cast is regressing. Kelsey's not getting young. The wide receiver room has been question mark for years. The offensive line has been broke down, tore up, broke down again ever since Orlando Brown Jr. left about 5 years ago, right? You're asking a rehabbing Mahomes to come back and carry more or less. This is a psychological hit as well. This team has always believed, we got 15, we'll never be out of it. What happens when 15 isn't Superman anymore? What happens when Patrick Mahomes isn't the man, the myth, the legend anymore? What happens if 15 cannot carry your team anymore? Guys, chat. If you believe the window is closed, type closed and tell me why. I will read those comments here in momentarily. Now, if you think we're a little overreacting. If you think the Super Bowl window is wide open. And to be fair, there is definitely wide open because I know Kansas City Chiefs fans are already out here throwing tomatoes. Me included. I'm like, well, what, dynasty over what? Because if you think about it, Mahomes' talent level, even at 90%, hell, even at 80%, Patrick Mahomes is better than the entire NFL. If Patrick Mahomes is still 90%, he's still a top five quarterback in the NFL. We've seen quarterbacks come back from ACLs. Brady, Joe Burrow, and then Achilles as well. Watson and like Rodgers, right? They've all come back from serious injuries. Modern medicine is different. Modern medicine is real. And when Mahomes is locked in, you still have a stable front office. You have a proven head coach, and you have a culture of winning. That matters. This isn't some chaotic rebuilding franchise like the Cleveland Browns. This isn't some chaotic franchise like the Las Vegas Raiders. This is a proven winner. They've rebuilt on the fly before. They lost Tyreek Hill, and guess what? They won a Super Bowl that year. They turn over the offensive line. They still go to Super Bowls. So it's more a non-ceiling take about it. The automatic dynasty window is closed. But you can win any given year with Patrick Mahomes. The window is not. Man, our nation, is the window really closed? Let's answer that question. And guys, I've been going back and forth on this. I've been going back and forth if the dynasty is really over. Losing Travis Kelce is going to suck. Losing Patrick Mahomes does suck. The offensive line is terrible. But the version of the Kansas City Chiefs where you pencil them into the AFC Championship game every year, that window might be probably gone. Not because of the Kansas City Chiefs' failure to rebuild. Not because Patrick Mahomes is not going to come back 100%. Not because their offensive line is terrible. It's because the rest of the AFC is pretty damn good. The Patriots are arguably the best team in the AFC. The Broncos are right there. The Chargers are coming. The Texans, good Lord, where'd they come from? At the Colts get Daniel Jones back. Guys, the AFC is as wide open as it's ever been. And yes, you cannot rely upon a banged-up quarterback, aging stars, and a roster that needs to be reset around a massive contract. And still pretend it's the 2019 through 2023. It's just not what it is. But simply put, as long as you have 15 in there, breathing, upright, and in a Chiefs uniform, they are never completely out of Super Bowl conversation. This dynasty, first 9 years, might be dead. I agree with that. But this new dynasty that's getting ready to retool, that's getting ready to reform, they're ready to go to the moon, baby. It's coming. And there's haters going to be out everywhere. So, guys, yes or no? Is the Chiefs Super Bowl window officially closed with this Mahomes injury? Drop your final verdict in the comments before we replay crew. And if you're watching this live, don't go anywhere because we're about to hit the next topic in the Tua saga. But, man, our nation, is the Super Bowl window closed? Let's look what you guys got to say here. Laura says, LOL, it's okay to be a loser sometimes. It is. This year, my chair sucks. The Kansas City Chiefs getting knocked out this season early, like week 15, right? This makes them hungry, makes the fan base appreciative of what we had earlier, right? Because let's be honest, I moved to Indiana and my wife wanted to support me, saying, hey, I'm going to be a Chiefs fan too. She's never experienced a losing season. She has never experienced us not going to the AFC Championship game. She has never experienced to be like, oh, shit, we suck. Well, guess what, honey? Back in the early 2000s, man, we woke up on Monday pissed off. Why? Because my Chiefs lost. It was just like clockwork. Wake up Monday morning, oh, shit. Man, we suck. Right? Like, it was just, but this is going to make the fan base enjoy Super Bowls more. This is going to make the players understand going to the Super Bowl is a big deal. Take, for example, Isaiah Pacheco. The man has never not played in the Super Bowl. In his whole NFL career, he has never not played in the Super Bowl. Wrap your head around that. There are players on the Kansas City Chiefs that just assume 21 games is a regular NFL season. This is the first time in like a long time, like, we don't know what to do with our hands. Arthur Brown says, I think Andy Reid is about done. You know what, Arthur Brown? Let's play devil's advocate, right? If the Kansas City Chiefs would have gone to the Super Bowl this season, and let's say they would have won the Super Bowl, right? I think Andy Reid would have definitely rode off into the sunset. He's like, you know what? We won 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls, 6 of the last 8. Like, it is time, right? But losing the way the Kansas City Chiefs are losing right now, playing the way the Kansas City Chiefs are playing right now, that lights a fire under your ass. That makes you want to get out there and prove people wrong. I mean, because obviously we don't know Andy Reid on a personal level. But to me, Andy Reid kind of has that ego about him. Now, he won't come out and publicly say, I want to be the best coach of all time. I want to be the greatest coach. I want to have the winningest record. He won't come out and say that. But behind closed doors, he's like, man, I'm only 30 some odd wins from being the winningest NFL coach ever. I'm only 4 Super Bowls away from being the most Super Bowl winningest coach ever. Like, it's in the back of his head. Now, as he might be about done this year, I think this year losing lit that fire. He'll be there for about 5-6 more years, more than likely. Jim Powell says Kelsey will be done. Mahomes will be done. Rice will still be a pretzel. Jones will go into porn. It's over. This sounds like a dodgeball story, right? This sounds like a story of like everybody rides off into the sunset. You have one bad season, Mahomes retire, Chris Jones does his porn thing, Rashid Rice like Tua, and then and then Travis Kelsey becomes like a devil worship satanic artist or something. And a couple years pass, and then somebody's going to get that itch, and they're going to be like, "Hey, Travis, come play. Chris, come play." And they're all going to be gray and old and out of shape, but they're going to come back and just wreck all the young cats. Make it happen. Make it happen. But Laura says, yes, the dynasty is done. Done. Crease, and then Laura says, Chiefs haters can thank me. But we're not going to thank you. But she says, on a panic level of Patrick Mahomes, she's about a 5. She's like, I'm worried that he tore his ACL. I'm worried that he tore his LCL. But at the same time, it's still Patrick Mahomes. But he still tore his ACL at the same time as Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I get it. You're a little bit torn. Electro Restorations is here today. He says, hey, y'all. Electro Restorations, stay for Factor Crap for your boy, Dak Prescott. Yeah, we going to talk about your boy, Dak Prescott today, baby. And it sounds like a bad country song. Pretty much. Electro Restoration says, closed. All dynasties must come to an end. Long live the Cowboys dynasty. And honestly, that's what makes things so great, right? Because you can like replay this back in like 5-6 years, like, damn, they had a hell of a run. Like the Patriots, like before Tom Brady tore his ACL, like, damn, they had a great run. They won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, right? Tom Brady had 2 MVPs. Tom Brady was the man, the myth, the legend. It is, but you are correct. Everything changes. Everything goes through cycles. Everything goes through. But listen, I think you're right, Electrician. I think this dynasty is closed. Next year they'll be average. The year after that they'll start to gain a little bit of traction, and then maybe, just maybe, Patrick Mahomes will get that second dynasty happening. John People says that window is nailed shut. I agree. Laura says closed. It's time for new things and a new team to shine. I love this year's outcomes so far. Yeah, so NFL in general this season has been definition of any given Sunday. Because if you think about it, let's flash back to June and July. We sat here picking the games, right? And we got to the Buffalo Bills. I'm like, I don't see the Buffalo Bills losing a freaking game this season. Week 1 started off hot. Week 2 started off hot. Week 3, I think they got punched in the mouth by the Patriots. Was it week 3 or week 4? And then all of a sudden, the Bills are losing to the Patriots. They're losing to the Falcons. They're playing like dog water. They got, what? Was it sacked? Was it 8 times versus the Houston Texans? Like, what is going on? I love football right now. I love the parity. I love that every week is going to be unpredictable. Hell, you can go because we are going to the Kansas City Chiefs Titans game on Sunday. Yes, Garner Minshew's playing. The Titans are out of it. The Chiefs are like out of it. But I guarantee you it's going to be a great game. It is what it is. It is awesome. John says the dark horse in the AFC is Denver. Dark horse in the NFC is Rams. How are they dark horses, John? My man, you know what a dark horse is, right? A dark horse is somebody that nobody expects. The Broncos are the number one overall seed. The Rams are the number one overall seed. Like, what? And Jim says the Chiefs were hot dog water in the 80s. I don't know. I wasn't born yet. In the 90s, yeah, we were pretty bad. Early 2000s, we were decent. We were happy to go 6-10. 8-8 was a great year. Hey, but yeah, we were not very, very good for a long, long time. John says he wants one on the way out like the players. What are you talking about? Did I miss something? Not for sure. Electro says, from a Cowboys fan to a Chiefs fan, the story of my life since 2010. Not every season is going to be great. Some will suck terribly. And honestly, guys, NFL and sports in general, right? Hell, life in general. As a 9, 10, 11-year-old, we pick a team, whether it's the Chargers, the Vikings, the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Patriots. We pick a team that's legit going to affect our mood for the next 6 months. And that's just mind-boggling to me. My 8-year-old Chargers fan, I love it. He was talking so much shit on Sunday. I love talking shit to an 8-year-old because they don't know what they're saying, but it hurts your soul, right? But I'm like, River, this will be your team for the next 60, 70 years, bud. You better enjoy the Chargers while they're good because I don't want you switching fandoms, just because your team does bad. Like, stick with it. Right out the good years, right out the bad years, right? But sports is just crazy to me, guys. Like, in the comments down below, guys, in general, I want you guys to answer this question. When did you become a fan of your said team? Were you 5? Were you 35? Were you 55? Like, I mean, because I bet you 9 times out of 10, we were single-digit age or 12 and under, right? We were, let's say in general, we were 12 and under when we said, I want to become a Saints fan. I want to become a Dolphins fan. And you let that affect your mood for the rest of your life. It's just, like, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Laura says, from a Vikings fan to all the Chiefs fans, at least you've been in the Super Bowl. Vikings haven't in my lifetime. Time to dethrone. Lions have never been in the Super Bowl. Vikings, Panthers have never been there. Jaguars have never been there. Texans have never been there. Like, I get it. That is tough. That is tough. And John says championship. This man is definitely high on pain pills right now. Championship. Jim says, I was 9. I was 9 when I became a Raiders fan, said Jim. Jim's a pigskin pun.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Jim is the CEO of the pigskin pun. These guys, get you some. Be like John. Laura says she was 4 years old when she became a Vikings fan. That's tough. When you become a fan of a team for 4 years old, that tells me 3 things, Laura. You want to be like your favorite aunt, your favorite uncle, or your parents engrave that into your body. They're like, hey, you came out of my vajayjay. You were going to put on the purple people eaters, and you were going to eat those plums until you turn purple because you're a Vikings fan forever. I can dig it. But that's just, that is crazy that, I mean, because right there, 9, 4, my son's 8 right now. I'm going to say I was probably 7 when I became a Cowboys fan. And then like 10, I realized, oh, the Kansas City Chiefs are right here. I could be a Chiefs fan. Like, I get it. Electro Restoration says 4 years old. Followed my father, Tony Romo slugging that thing and Murray running that thing down. Damn, you were only 4 years old when Tony Romo came in? That's tough. I'm trying to think when I was Tony Romo. Because Troy Aikman was quarterback to what, 2000, 2001? 2002 maybe? I can't really remember. So my man was 4 years old in the early 2000s. This man damn near 29 years old. And Laura's like, I love the color purple. And it's funny that you say that, Laura, because that's exactly how River picked the Chargers, because his favorite color is blue and my wife's color favorite is yellow. And we're looking through the logos. He's like, I like that team. I'm like, why? Because I like blue and mom likes yellow. Okay. And then he said, I hate the Chiefs. That's exactly what he said at the end of the day. John People says, in 1973, Raiders versus Rams, defense Jack Youngblood should have been a Raider. That is tough. You know who else should be a Raider? It's Tua. And that's exactly where you guys are going in right now, guys. So welcome into segment number 2. This is the moment where Miami Dolphins fans are holding their breaths over. Everything is on the table. Those were Mike McDaniel's words after a gut-punching loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football. Miami's 4-game winning streak officially ended, and it knocked him out of playoff competition. And when your quarterback has been the source of so much inconsistency, well, that seismic shift, we got to talk about benching Tua. And today, guys, we're going to break it all down. First of all, what happened on Monday Night Football? Monday in Pittsburgh, simply, guys, it was ugly. Miami falls 28-15. Aaron Rodgers looks crisp. Miami's offense misfires, sacks, no rhythm. Tua finished 22 of 28, 253 yards, and 2 late touchdowns and an interception. But let's not sugarcoat this. Both of those touchdown passes came with the game pretty much already out of reach, right? Here's the hard number truth. Tua's 2025 season has been a little bit rough. He ranks 20th in the NFL with passing yards with 2,407 yards. 18 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. Far too high, especially for a, quote, franchise quarterback. And his QBR is damn near dead last. 38. It's in the bottom tier among starters. The only one worse? Tyler Stroud. Spencer Rattler. Justin Fields. And that's not the conversation you want to be in. And when you combine the stats, and then what we've seen on tape, late reads, turnovers in key moments, shaky deep ball accuracy, it paints it down year. And that's the start on Miami's record. It's not that Tua, sorry, this is not the Tua who has led the league in completion percentage or passing yards in previous seasons. This is the Tua struggling to keep up the pace with league's efficient quarterbacks. This is Tua that is questioning his future. This is Tua that I don't think he wants to be in Miami anymore. Guys, this matters. McDaniel said the quarterback play was not good enough, and that is everything is on the table. That is coach speak for only if it's serious. Mike McDaniel didn't talk about hopes and for a bounce back next season. He didn't offer silver lining cliches. He put the issues squarely on the present tense. That's very, very significant. Because when you look at other quarterbacks that the Miami Dolphins have, they have Zach Wilson. You can put him as a veteran, but is he a long-term answer? I'm not for sure. But it's definitely a different look. It's definitely not Tua. And then you have rookie Quinn Ewers as well. Developmental, but that could provide new blood to evaluate. Guys, this isn't about who magically makes the Dolphins a playoff team this year. It's about evaluating potential direction for 2026. Is Tua going to be on the team next year? Guys, Miami was built to win now. 3 elite offensive weapons, one of the better passing attacks in the NFL, a defense capable of getting stops, and they couldn't do it. But turnover differential and inconsistent quarterback play have been the undoing of this roster. Not injuries, not the schedule, simply put, quarterback execution. That's why Mike McDaniel's comments are very irrevertible, right? This Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals is no longer a must win. It's meaningful execution. It's AKA play loose, play free, and get those dollar bills, y'all. And if Tua struggles, if the interceptions keep happening, if the momentum disappears early, then McDaniel's words just won't be immediate fodder. It'll be the beginning of a real quarterback change. So let me ask you this, Man Our Nation. Is this just a rough patch for Tua, or is Miami ready to start on a new chapter at quarterback in 2026? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We are live, and I want to hear from you. Guys, subscribe, hit the like button, stay locked in, because we're live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. East Coast time, right here, youtube.com/man hour. So comment down below, guys, and let's talk some football. Let's talk a little bit about Miami Dolphins, baby. John says Finns need a new coach and a better offensive line and more turnovers from their defense. Old Man River, you are a pigskin pundit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Earlier this season, hell, before last year, let's flashback to this time last season. I was saying Mike McDaniels is on the hot seat. All off season, I'm like, this man's on the hot seat. This man's on the hot seat. He is terrible. He's lost the locker room. He's not a motivational of like men. But the Miami Dolphins fired their general manager, right? General manager gone. He says, see you later, alligator. What happens? 4 straight wins. That tells me that Mike McDaniels did not lose the locker room. That tells you that Mike McDaniels can coach them in. That means Mike McDaniels is finally running the team the way he wants to, and the ownership trusts Mike McDaniel. And if we were having this conversation and the general manager was still there and they went through 4 wins and then they epic collapsed again like they did last night against the Pittsburgh Steelers, then I could definitely see, yes, need a new head coach. But the more I watch Mike McDaniels, the more I listen to him and like get past his trying to be clever antics and like actually listen to what he says, he's a really, really good coach. He just needs to go back to his roots. They need to get rid of Tyreek Hill. They need to get rid of Tua, and they need to exploit Achane. They need to give him the ball over and over and over again. Because what made Mike McDaniel so great as a coach? Running the ball. He was a running game coordinator. When he was the offensive coordinator, they ran the piss out of the ball. Run the ball, and Mike McDaniel will be successful. So I don't think they need a new coach. Offensive line, potentially, sure. And obviously, when you turn the ball over more on defense, when you get turnovers more, you're going to win games. Like, I totally get that. But new coach, come on now. Arthur Brown says, our running game was shut down from the beginning, and the game was becoming an unbound tool. Couldn't throw the ball or complete the pass. Let's flash back to last night, Arthur Brown. When they did run the ball, yes, majority of the time it was unsuccessful because they could not capitalize on the deep threat of pass, right? Basically, Tua couldn't throw the ball. And I agree with that. However, the Dolphins seem to have no sense of urgency all game, especially in the fourth quarter. You're down, down 19 points. You have a 6-minute drive. You're taking the play clock down to under 10 seconds damn near every time. Like, what are you doing? Now, I don't know if that's Tua or coaching, but long story short, it's just, yes, they had a rough night last night. I think we should start to the backup. So he's thinking Zach Wilson or Quinn Ewers needs to start. And I 100% agree with you, Arthur Brown. Because let's just be honest, you know what Tua gives you. You know that Tua will give you X, Y, Z. And he will take away from you X, Y, Z. Zach Wilson. We actually saw him have a little bit of success that last year when he finally got to sit down for 4 plays. But he started to come around with the New York Jets that final year. And then he spent a year in Denver, right? And now he's in Miami. So he's had time to sit back, time to soak it all in, time to be a Geno Smith-esque type of person, right? Go from bust to where's he at to, oh shit, right? See if Zach Wilson can perform. However, you have Quinn Ewers as well. Was he 7th round pick? 6th round pick. I think Quinn Ewers was a phenomenal quarterback. Give him a shot too. Definitely. I agree with you, Arthur Brown. Give the backups a shot. And Jim says it's just a rough patch. He won't remember in 3 years. So Jim is saying Tua's just going through a rough patch. CET is going to take away his memory, but you know what? He'll be fine. So Jim, let me ask you this. Does Tua go to a different team? Does he go to a team like the Titans? Does he go to a team like the Jets or the Cardinals? Like, does Tua find a new home and find success? Like, that's what I'm asking. Brianna's in the chat. What's up, Brian? Brian Hanna. I'm sorry. I saw Brianna. Brian Hanna. What's up? He said, here we go, Steelers. Here we go. We're talking about the Steelers next, Brian. So stay tuned for that. Electro Restoration says, I think it'll be the situation in New York. With the Giants, Dart takes over and Russ got placed on the backup burner. Same will probably happen with Tua, probably. At least for this season. Tua definitely needs to get on the back burner and see what you have in Zach Wilson, see what you have in Quinn Ewers, right? You have 3 games. Prove to me what you have in 2026, baby! And John says, I see Russ in Miami next season. Stop. Russ is going to be on CBS next season. Electro Restoration says, as a Texas A&M fan, A-Chan ran that thing great for us. Give him that ball. Give him the ball. A-Chain, right? Yeah, I did, because we used to call him A-Chan, and then he's like, no, I'm A-Chain. Yeah. Sorry, A-Chain. That's right. Give him the ball. Tua is not a starter. He's a backup naturally. Tua is not a starter. He's a backup naturally. I don't know. I mean, he's had pretty good success in Miami. I don't know. John says Tua to Minnesota. I think J.J. McCarthy is starting to finally earn his keep. I don't think he's going anywhere. But yeah. Anyways, guys, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and their castaways, right? Guys, sometimes the box scores tells you a lie. Sometimes the post-game quotes tell you the truth. And on Monday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers didn't just beat the Miami Dolphins. He told you exactly who the Pittsburgh Steelers are turning to. Because after that 28-15 win, he looked down at the stat sheet, started naming teammates, and then dropped one word that explains the entire Pittsburgh Steelers this season: cast-offs. The cast-off quarterback, the cast-off receivers, the cast-off running backs. Aaron Rodgers is standing there smiling, just rattling off names. Kenneth Gainwell, Connor Haywood, MVS, Adam Thielen, Asante Samuel Jr., guys other teams moved on for, guys people stopped talking about, cut, traded, unsigned, forgotten. And Rodgers says that's exactly what makes this team special. Not 5-star names, not headlines, not hype, simply put, opportunity. Guys, now look how Aaron Rodgers played. Because this wasn't primetime highlight reel stuff. This was a veteran clinic level football. 23 for 27, 85.2% completion percentage, 224 yards passing, 8 different receivers. That is the highest completion percentage in over a decade. Not hero ball. No, I still got it. Ego throws. Just pointing guard football. 4 straight touchdown drives. Pittsburgh hasn't done that since 2018. That's not a coincidence. That's simply put, that is command. That is the GOAT, Aaron Rodgers. Into the first half, Connor Haywood, a guy most of the league barely notices. Muscles it, tush pushes, touchdown, baby! Then to open the second half, Aaron Rodgers goes to an old friend, MVS. 19-yard touchdown, wide freaking open. First time they connected for a score since Street Bay back in 2021. Rodgers looks at him and says, happy to have you back, brother. That's leadership, that's trust, that's memory meeting opportunity. Now, Kenneth Gainwell, this man, a Steelers formula. If you want the Steelers' entire philosophy in just one player, it's Kenneth Gainwell. 1-year deal, $1.79 million, pocket change the NFL money. 7 targets, 7 catches, 46 receiving yards, 13 carries for 80 yards on the ground. Aaron Rodgers cannot stop talking about him. He calls him fluid. He calls him reliable. Says he's making plays everywhere he's gone. This is what Pittsburgh does better than almost anybody. They don't chase value. They simply create it. Now flip to the other side of the ball. Asante Samuel Jr., coming off a spinal fusion surgery earlier this season, makes his first start as a Pittsburgh Steeler. First quarter, what does he do? Picks off Tua. That's not luck. That's tape study. That's preparation. That is veteran leadership. Mike Tomlin keeps talking about upholding the standard, and it shows everywhere. Even the 4-string left tackle, Dylan Cook, making his first career start, is part of the winning functional offense. No excuses, no spotlight. Just do your job. Guys, this is not just about a win over Miami. This is about Pittsburgh planting a flag. Top of the AFC North. Back-to-back wins for the first time in months. They're heating up exactly at the right part of the schedule, the right time of the year. And Patrick Queen said it perfectly. Oh, did we forget about how great Patrick Queen played? He said, this is a stretch where momentum gets created. Not in September, not in October, right now, in middle of December. Guys, the big picture is this Pittsburgh Steelers team isn't loud. It's not built for TikTok clips or viral highlights. It's built off cast-ons who bought in, a Hall of Fame quarterback who trusts everybody, and a head coach who demands the standard from star to practice squad. And for the moment, the formula is working. For the moment, the Pittsburgh Steelers look like the best team in the AFC. For the moment, they're Super Bowl bound, baby. But Man Hour Nation, let me throw this to you. Are the Pittsburgh Steelers just stacking up wins, or are they quietly becoming the most dangerous team in the AFC heading into January? Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you, Steelers fans, Dolphins fans, everywhere in between. Subscribe, smash the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. East Coast time right here, youtube.com/manhour. Now, this is a live interactive show, so comment down below, and let's talk some football. Old Man River says it's basically one touchdown per quarter. Pretty much basics. Pretty much basic, he says. That's a false statement, Old Man River. Because when you look across the NFL, the average offense scores 23 points a game. If you look at scoring offense, you go right in the middle, number 15, 23 points per game. 28 points is not average. 28 points is a top 10 offense in the NFL. 28 points is a Super Bowl winning offense, especially with this defense. And let's just be honest. You can say they played Miami, they're down, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Miami Dolphins were rolling. Tua was looking mighty fine. A-Chain was running the ball down people's throats. Hell, on Monday we said he was the key to the ignition. And the Pittsburgh Steelers shut that down without TJ Watt. He'll be back. But they did it all without TJ Watt. Guys, think about this. Anna Salmas. Sorry. Am I saying that name right? It says Rams probably winning it, sadly. We're going to talk about the Rams. So stay tuned for Overreaction Tuesday. We're going to talk about the Rams. Old Man River says 28, 15, 7, 7, 7. Average, where's Miami's defense rated? Old Man River, let's flash back to Monday. During this 4-game winning streak, the Miami Dolphins had a top 5 defense. During this 4-game winning streak, the Miami Dolphins were rolling up and down the field offensively. And defensively, they were shutting teams down. So don't tell me where their defense is rated. They're playing great football. Arthur Brown, let them know. Tell them, your boys were playing good football. Guys, the Steelers are them. And that bench thing, that's my bad. I forgot to do that. But guys, let's cut through this nonsense. Because Joe Burrow is not quitting football. Joe Burrow is not secretly planning retirement. Joe Burrow is secretly not planning his way out of Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is just frustrated. And if you really want to believe all the one press conference quote, you are exactly what sports media is feeding off of right now. You are exactly what all of these people are saying. Guys, Joe Burrow's not going anywhere. What we saw this week wasn't a quarterback checking out. It was a superstar who's beat up, frustrated of watching his organization waste his prime. What we saw is Joe Burrow speaking his mind. What we saw is Joe Burrow being honest with everybody. And the narrative that he doesn't love football anymore or he might want to walk away like Andrew Luck, stop it. That's insane. Guys, tonight we're breaking this all down because this is silly. Guys, welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, where Monday through Friday we're live at 7 p.m. East Coast time. Real, unfiltered NFL talk. No PR spin, no fake hot takes just for clicks. We are here. If you're watching this live, guys, hit the like button and so more NFL fans jump in here. Subscribe if you love straight up NFL football talk and drop your team in the comments down below. Now, chat, what's really going on with Joe Burrow? Is this just the media overreacting? Is Joe Burrow actually thinking about walking away? Is he just frustration talking? Or the Bengals problem, not a Joe Burrow problem? Let me know. Because let's start with the quote that everybody is twisting. Let's start with the quote that everybody is trying to read between the lines. Joe Burrow gets asked about football being fun. And he says, if I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. If it's not fun, then what am I doing it for? Then he asked if he was having fun before the injury. He basically said, no, I wouldn't say I viewed it that way. That's it. That's the quote. He also talks about reflection, everything he's been through, the physical, and mental toll and trying to find the joy in the grind again. That's not a retirement speech. That is a guy being honest that football at this level is brutal when your team is losing and your body is breaking down. Chat, here's a question for you. Have you ever hated the situation but still loved to work? Type yes or no. Guys, simply put, the media has turned this into he's quitting. The media has turned this into he wants out of Cincinnati. The media has turned this into he's retiring. And it drives me crazy. Immediately after the pressure, the headlines are, is Joe Burrow the next Andrew Luck? Is Joe Burrow falling out of love with football? Joe Burrow hints away, walking away. Come on. This is classic content framing. Take one emotional, honest quote, strip away the context, slap retirement or quitting in the headline, and bada bing, bada boom, print money. Nobody seems to mention the fact that this dude just rushed back from surgery from a turf toe injuries 10 weeks ago to play. He came back to a 4-9 football team with the bottom tier defense. He's been hit, injured, and played replaying his entire Bengals career. That's not a guy who hates football. That's a guy who loves it so much he's willing to break himself for a team that isn't holding up his end. That's what it comes down to. Guys, here is what I hear when I hear those quotes. I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of my pine being racing. That's what Joe Burrow is saying. Look at the big picture. The Bengals have missed the playoffs now for 3 straight years. Defense has been near at the bottom for those 3 straight years. Roster decisions have been questionable at best. They depend on Joe Burrow to be Superman every single week. He's expected to come back and drag this team into playoff hunt. Instead, the season is before Christmas. That would break a lot of dudes mentally and physically. Let's just be honest. So when he talks about fun, he's not talking about video games and sunshine. He's talking about competing at a high level. He's talking about playing meaningful football in December and January. He's talking about not consistently rehabbing instead of actually playing and getting better. Chat, do you think Joe Burrow's frustration is 100% justified? Type frustrated in the chat if you think so. But guys, here's what the real headline should say. The real headline here shouldn't be Joe Burrow might quit. It should be like, how long can Joe Burrow tolerate the Bengals wasting his prime? Because the facts are, here's the simple facts. He's earned the right, the man, to be better. He has earned the right to be honest about the toll. He has earned the right to be pissed off. The Bengals' job right now is to fix our defense, to build a real offensive line, and stop playing cheap to key players. Treat every year like a Super Bowl window with an elite quarterback, not a shrug. If they don't, which they haven't been, that's when you start having real conversations about will he want out. Not because he hates football, simply because he hates losing. All right, Man Hour Nation, the final word is yours. Is Joe Burrow quitting narrative legit, or is just another case of media drama for clicks? Drop your final takes in the comments down below, because I'm watching it and we're going to read through it and we're going to live interactive show. Guys, subscribe, hit the like button, share this with a couple of friends as well. Is Joe Burrow, or are the Bengals wasting Joe Burrow's career? That is the question. And it says, I think Stafford will retire and Joe will go for the Rams. They have some great picks to give to Cincinnati. So let me ask you this. I think that Matthew Stafford is going to win the MVP. I think Matthew Stafford is on top of his game. I think Matthew Stafford is arguably having the best year of his career. You think he's going to walk away? Now, we thought that last year, but I think Dak is a better fit in LA than Joe Burrow. Anna said, John, we are even bad at losing. We should have got the first pick last year. Not wrong. Not wrong. And John says, only if the Jets get a great draft. Oh, so Anna's a Jets fan. It says, my Jets will make the playoffs next year. Maybe. But guys, it is time. It is time for Overreaction Tuesday. It is not buy or sell. It's Overreaction Tuesday.
It's Tuesday morning, the coffee's hot hot takes flying like a last-minute shot. They say he's washed, they say he's gold. Every week's a legend or a story untold. He's the GOAT, no, he's a fraud. A single play, they applaud or applaud. Overreaction Tuesday. Big swings, small plays. One snap changes fate. Overreaction Tuesday. The crowd or the gate, no middle, just debate.
All right, Man Hour Nation, it is time for Overreaction Tuesday. And if you've not seen this segment before, let me break it down for you. Here's the deal. I'm going to throw out a hot take, a bold statement, or an intense reaction to something going around in the NFL world. And then we're going to decide if it's an overreaction or if it's actually spot on. So if you guys think it's an overreaction, call it out. Say, whoa, slow down, baby. That's a little too much, Buck. It's all about dialing back, seeing things with a bit more perspective if you actually think it's legit. We're going to agree with it and roll and say, you know what? Yeah, Bucks, that's not a reaction. You're actually spot on, and here's why. So, guys, throw us some bold takes in the comments down below because we want to talk about this on Overreaction Tuesday.
Just debate.
All right, guys, here on Overreaction Tuesday, we want to start off with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Is it an overreaction to say the Pittsburgh Steelers will win at least 2 playoff games this season? Not just make the playoffs, not just win 1 wildcard game, but win 2 playoff games. Chat. Will the Steelers win 2 playoff games? Let me know. So, guys, if the playoffs were to kick off right now, today, December 16th, 2025, the Pittsburgh Steelers would be 4th seed. They would be hosting the Los Angeles Chargers in the first round. So the first real question is very, very simple. Can the Steelers beat the LA Chargers? And if they were to play right now, I would say yes, they absolutely can. The Steelers defense is built for one thing to do, and that is win in January. Pressure the quarterback relentlessly over and over and over again. Yes, Justin Herbert is elite, but he's not immune to pressure. And the Pittsburgh is one of the best teams in the league at collapsing the pocket and turning games ugly. Look what they did last night. If the Pittsburgh Steelers turn that game into a rock fight, they have the advantage. That matchup, it's not even scary for Pittsburgh. They're going to roll that. Then let's talk about what we saw on Monday night. The Pittsburgh Steelers does not just control the Miami Dolphins. They actually controlled them, right? Winning 28-15 on Monday Night Football. Sent the Miami games West Coast Street. But here's the part that mattered most. Kenneth Gainwell, MVS, Connor Hayward, Adam Thielen. All of them playing great football. Great football. Let me scroll down to my notes here. So, after the Steelers beat the Chargers, who's waiting for them next? Either the Denver Broncos, who's currently the number 1 overall seed, the Patriots sitting at 2nd seed, or the Jacksonville Jaguars sitting at 3rd seed. And here's the truth. Nobody wants to say it out loud, but the Pittsburgh Steelers can beat all 3 of those teams, the Broncos, Jaguars, and Patriots. They can out-physical the Jaguars, they can out-coach the Broncos, and they can turn the Patriots into a low-scoring, grinded-out favors, and that favors the Pittsburgh Steelers. None of those teams want to see a veteran quarterback and a nasty defense and Mike Tomlin on the opposing sideline in January, especially after 1 win. So, guys, is it an overreaction to say the Pittsburgh Steelers win 2 games in the playoffs? Guys, it's not an overreaction. It is not an overreaction. This team is dangerous. This team is battle-tested. This team is built for postseason football. They pressure quarterbacks. They spread the ball. They protect it, and they play for each other. Castaways, remember that? And if they get the right matchup, Pittsburgh actually has a path to a deep playoff run. Do not confuse, not flashy, not capable, because the Steelers have a team that's very, very capable. But Man Hour Nation, do you believe the Pittsburgh Steelers can make a real playoff run, or does it end with 1 and done? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to hear from you. Man Hour Nation. Old Memory says they lose in the first round to the Chargers. 31-24. And then they lose 2 out of 3 to finish the year. Losing the wild card game. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But overreaction number 2, guys. Can anyone stop the Los Angeles Rams in the NFC playoffs? Guys, the Rams are currently sitting the number 1 overall seed in the NFC playoff picture. They're sitting at 11-3, winners of the 8 of their last 9. They're currently tied with the Seahawks for the top spot in the NFC West with the Seahawks. And that's who they actually play on Thursday. And they also hold a 1.5 game lead over the second place NFC playoff race over the Chicago Bears and 2.5 games with third place team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Chat, I need you in here early. Do you think the Rams are unstoppable in the NFC, or do you see a team that can knock them off? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below and let's break this down. Guys, let's start what we watched against the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions punched the Rams right in the mouth. 24 first half points, double-digit deficit. The kind of start that breaks most teams. The Rams didn't break. Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay calmly adjusted, found a weakness, and they went hunting. They zeroed in on Lions corner DJ Reed and attacked him over and over and over again. 7 targets in the first half, 4 catches, 97 yards, deep shots, intermediate routes, double moves that punished his aggressiveness. That's elite quarterback. That's elite coaching that worked perfectly in harmony. And once the Detroit Lions adjusted, the Rams adjusted right back. Second half, the script flipped. Heavy personnel, 3 tight ends, run the ball down your throat, force the Detroit Lions to overcommit, and then hit them with play action. That's just not talent. That is surgical football. This is not the old Sean McVay. The Rams have lived off the same concept over and over again. The team has layers. The teams have stars receiver in Puka, Devontae Adams, with just not 1-1. They have an offensive line that can protect long enough for deep concepts to develop. They have multiple tight ends look that completely change of how defense has to line up. They have Kyron Williams, Blake Cronum, pounding defenses into submission. They have a quarterback who can that executes every vision of the offense. This offense doesn't force anything. It finds exactly where your weakness is and pressures it until you break. That's why people are asking the question, can this team be stopped? The offense being elite, that's not shocking. The defense is. This is the cheapest defense in the NFL by cap spending, yet they consistently punch above its weight class. Punch in the mouth over and over and over again. They do not rely on one dominant edge rusher. They do not depend on one elite cornerback. They collapse pockets from the inside. They blitz creatively. They speed quarterbacks up. They force mistakes at the feet, not at the shoulders. That works, especially against quarterbacks who need rhythm, a.k.a. Jared Goff. But let's just be honest. This defense is not flawless. The cornerback play can be attacked. Big receivers can stress them. Strong running games can shorten the contest and limit possessions. One mistake by the offense can flip the entire game fast. So this is not an invincible unit. However, let's answer the question. Who can actually stop them? Yes, guys, the Rams can be stopped. The 49ers are the biggest threat. Kyle Shanahan has consistently created space against the defense. Brock Purdy has shown he can carve them up. The Rams should have swept the 49ers this year, but late mistakes kept the door wide open. This matchup is dangerous in both ways. The Seahawks are a problem. Mike McDaniel's defense gave up Stafford his worst efficiency game under Sean McVay. If Seattle's offense figures itself out, this is a real threat. And a fully healthy Detroit Lions team can do it as well. Their size, run defense, and offensive line can build to stress the Rams roster. Injuries made that clear last time. They're not easy outs. So yes, guys, I think it's an overreaction. I think it's an overreaction to say that no one can stop the Rams in the NFC playoffs. Now, the Rams are the best team in the NFC right now. They're the most complete. They're the most adaptable. They're the most dangerous when they find your weakness. But unstoppable? Absolutely not. Divisional opponents know them all too well. Big receivers and strong run games can stress their defense. One mistake can change everything in January. The Rams are the team to beat, but they're not untouchable. So, Man Hour Nation, who do you trust most to stop the Rams in the NFC playoffs? 49ers, Seahawks, Lions, Packers, somebody else? Drop your comments in the answer below. Jared Goff choked again on Sunday. Jared Goff choked again. That's tough. That's tough. John says, in my opinion, Stafford is the best quarterback in the league. Right now he is. Right now he is. Prince Rector says, I broke my leg. I'm in the hospital. That sucks. Get better, brother. Get better. Get better. Get better, get better, get better, get better. Guys, that's going to be it for tonight. Yeah.